Hi, I am Kanisha Coleman, the Beauty CPA, and I am coming you to. Hi, everyone joining. Hello, hello. Just give me a couple minutes. I just need to fix something on this other screen here. I am streaming on two devices. So I have Instagram here and I have Facebook here and YouTube here. So I just need to correct something real quick. Okay. I think we're good. Okay, so again, I'm Kanisha Coleman, the Beauty CPA, and I help beauty entrepreneurs save money with CFO services and effective tax planning. My mission is to have you paying the least amount of tax possible and helping you put together and manage your financial information in a way that you can use it to streamline the accounting function in your beauty business and use it to meet your future money goals. Okay, so today I am coming to you to talk about budget expense allocations. Okay, so last week, Tuesday, we talked about budgeting, making the future revenue goal for next year, for year 2021. And I remember we were talking about the revenue goal, and I encouraged all of you to really, really dream big, right? I wanted you to dream big, and then I wanted you to tailor that dream big revenue number down, making sure that it was doable by mapping out your revenue models, okay? Again, your revenue model is the ways in which you're going to earn that revenue. So, just to give you like a real quick summary, remember when we are making our future money goals, we want more than one stream of revenue, because if the pandemic has taught us nothing, it has taught us to have more than one way of making money, and preferably let that second way be passive and or virtual digital in nature, right? So that we don't have to be in somebody's face all the time to make our money. So again, you're making this big dream revenue goal, and then you make it doable by mapping out your revenue model, the ways in which you earn that revenue. And you're going to say, okay, if I have a revenue goal of 100K, this is how much money I'm going to make from doing this service. This is how much money I'm going to make from making this product, and so on and so forth. That's how we know it's doable. If we can take our revenue goal number and we can put it specifically to the things that we're going to do in our business to hit that number, it can be doable, right? And if we're really specific and make a really specific plan, okay? We all know we only have 24 hours in a day. 8 of those hopefully is going towards sleep. Some of those are going to go to family and friends. So, you know, that's how we make it doable by really being I don't want to use that word realistic, because again, I think that word keeps us in our comfort zone. We do want to have stretch goals and go outside of our comfort zone, but we do want to make sure it's doable. So keep in mind that revenue model and the time that you can allot to those revenue streams. But today we are going to talk about the expense side, right? So we've made all this money. We're going to make all this money in 2021. How are we planning to spend it? I love talking about expense management, because I truly believe that when you're making your money goals, it's a numbers game. It is a pure arithmetic numbers game, right? It can actually turn out how you want it to, with a proper plan, some really good effort to follow that plan. And again, it's a numbers game. So once we get into this conversation about expenses and expense management, you'll quickly see that, okay, if you make out your budget and you don't like the number, your bottom line number, if you want it to go up, you know that you can just play around with the numbers and make sure you follow that budget to the T, well, as close as you can, and you will hit your money goal. It's as simple as that, okay? So I got my notes here. I got some slides I want to show you too, because some of this is just better explained when you can see the numbers on the screen, okay? So the first thing I want you to do when you are budgeting out the expense side, right, of your budget, when you're budgeting these expenses, I want you to look to your historical data. I want you to see what your expenses are currently, right? Now, I know COVID, it probably kind of, it is going to make the income statement, the P&L look a way different this year, right? Half of the country, or more than half of the country, was closed for maybe 6 to 9 months. So this year may not be a good representation of what your true expenses are for your business. So I suggest looking to 2019. I suggest looking to 2019 just because it was a normal full year. If you use this year, it's going to be kind of like skewed because of this, unforeseen circumstance. So when you're budgeting out your expenses, always look to your historical data. And that's where bookkeeping come into place. Now, I know you guys have been hearing me, bark at you about bookkeeping, but it's very, very important. One of the very important reasons for bookkeeping is because now you can do a proper budget, right? So now I'm telling you, your first step into budgeting for your expenses is to look at your numbers where you are currently. You can only do that if you've been maintaining bookkeeping. You got to know what you're incurring already. You got to know where your level of expenses are. Okay. So if you don't have bookkeeping, just try your best to go to whatever financial records that you do have to recoup the total of what those expenses are. Hopefully you can break them out. You can itemize the expenses and you can know specifically where they're going. Like, for example, you know how much you're paying your rent. You know how much you're paying your utilities if you have to. You know how much you're paying for materials and supplies. You know how much you're paying for refreshments and technology and so on and so forth. Hopefully you can gather that information and be able to break it out into categories. We need them in categories, okay? So after you have gathered your historical data, right, you know where you are currently as far as the expenses you're incurring for your beauty business. What I want you to do is factor in some future anticipated costs. Because, okay, we're going to look to a prior year for what our expenses were, but you may know that you have some other stuff coming up that didn't happen last year. So we want to factor in those costs too, just so that we don't have any surprises, right? So for example, this year we had a pandemic, right? And some of you may have maybe taken out loans that you have to pay back, or maybe your landlord gave you a break on the rent while you're closed, but then put the rent on the back end and you have to pay it back at the end of your lease that's coming next year. Things like that. Or maybe even things that you are planning on doing new for your business that you've never done before, and it will require an investment from you, a financial investment. You want to plan for that. So plan for future anticipated costs. Now, once you have all those costs, those expenses, go ahead and type it out on your budget for next year. And just look at those numbers. And you're doing this by category. You want major categories. You at least want the cost of your services, the cost to deliver your services, right? So the cost of the supplies or materials you need to deliver your service to your client or produce your product and sell it to the client. You want rent. You want utilities if you have to pay those. You want any other costs. You want legal and professional fees. You want insurance. You want telephone. You want what you have to pay your appointment scheduling fee. You want, you want any travel costs. You want advertising and promotion. Any of those costs, and you want to list them out by category so you know exactly, very specifically where the money is going, right? Now, after you do that, I want you to compare what you have to some beauty industry benchmarks or some expense allocations. And I am going to, right now, I'm going to pull up a slide here just so you can see, an example. And Facebook, my apologies to you. I do not have the slides for you. Just have it for Instagram, but I will be, I'll tell you what we're looking at. Okay, so Instagram on the slide right now, you should see expense allocations, right? And these are not all of the categories. These are just the major ones that I was able to research and find what the industry average was. I want you to take these percentages and compare them to what you have. So, what these percentages are saying is, on average, the beauty industry is not paying any more than, or they're suggesting you not pay any more than 30% of the materials and supplies that you use to deliver services to your client. Then the next one is they're suggesting, or the average is, you do not pay more than 15% on rent, or 3% on advertising, 3% for professional development. This is your training and your education. And like if you go for more certifications, right, to gain new skills. This is 3% for legal and professional fees. So legal is like if you have an attorney, a lawyer, or a CPA, an accountant, people to help you with the regulatory things in your business. 1% are miscellaneous supplies, 1% for technology. What we mean by technology there, that would be like your appointment scheduling software or any other software that you use in your business. 1% on consulting. Maybe you have a business coach. Maybe you have a salon spa coach, right? Maybe then you have 1% for dues and subscription. These are like if you belong to an association, right? Maybe you belong to an alumni association for whatever school you went to, or maybe you will just belong to one of the industry organizations or association. That is what that is for. And subscriptions are like, if you have like literature out for your clients. And then 0.5%, a half a percent on telephone Wi-Fi. Telephone like your cell phone bill, or maybe you provide Wi-Fi in your salon or spa studio, or your salon and your spa, just for yourself and for your clients. Now, what I want you to keep in mind is that these percentages, again, they're averages, they're suggestions. Please take these for a grain of salt. This is mere guidance. At the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you and your business, right? So, for example, if you live in New York or California, somewhere where the real estate rates are really, really high, your rent may very well be above 15%. And that's okay. Because like I said before, this is a numbers game. So if you're paying more in one area like rent or cost of sales, or cost of the products that you're selling, you can like alter the percentage you spend on something else in another area. Again, this is all a numbers game. And again, these are just suggestions, industry averages, this mere guidance. At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. I think the point of these, though, is that you want to have some sort of expense management system. Now, these percentages, they are a percentage of the revenue that you earn, right? So we made our big revenue goal. When we're looking to budget what we want to spend on, say, rent or advertising, look at what you have already, your historical cost, stuff that you're currently paying. If you're falling below the percentages here, great. If you're going above and there is like no clear reason why, maybe you want to look at minimizing or revising what you spend in that area, just because it will just add to your bottom line. So let's look at an example. I love examples. It really brings everything to life. Okay. Hey, Raw Hair Wholesaler, thank you for joining me. So I got an example here. Here's an example. So let's say your planned revenue goal was $100,000. I'm sticking with my $100,000 number. This is why I remember making a post. I don't know, some days ago. And it was saying that like the beauty industry is worth like $863 billion. It's enough money out there for all of you to have a 6-figure revenue goal. So that's why my examples are always like $100,000 because it's doable. It's realistic. You can do it. The money is out there. The average American woman spends at least $300 on making herself look and or feel beautiful a month, y'all. So, is it realistic that you can make $100,000 a year from your beauty business? Absolutely. Because even during this pandemic, none of that has slowed down. It has changed the way we spend money, right? So we may shop more online, obviously, because we're forced to, but the money's still flowing. That's why I said, when you're making your revenue goal, make sure you have some way of making money that does not involve you having to be in front of your customer in person, because we don't really know how any of this is going to turn out. So we kind of want to be prepared to still hit our money goals, right? Because we have an additional revenue stream. Okay, so let's get into the example. Planned revenue, $100,000. That will always be like my example number, because I'm completely confident that all of you can make at least $100,000. If we stick to those percentages that I showed you on the prior slide, this is how our expenses will be. And remember, all of this is annual. So this is for the whole year. So when you're making your budget for 2021, my suggestion will be this is your annual numbers, but break it out by month. Do columns on a spreadsheet, January through December, and divide all of these numbers by 12. Because you're going to be measuring your performance and how you're following your budget monthly. Just so you know, if you're falling short of your goal, why is that? And you can course correct. But then if you're hitting your goal or exceeding your goal, you can be like, oh, something's working. So I'm going to do more of what's working because clearly is making me the most money. So, and then you can kind of like be more efficient with your time. So even though I'm showing you annual goals here, when you actually do your budget for 2021, I want you to divide these numbers by 12 so that you can have monthly goals, right? And then you can kind of measure performance on a monthly basis. I'm be honest with you, I know people that do it like I would not put 52 weeks on a spreadsheet. That's very hard to look at. But like internally, right? If they have a monthly goal, they will check in like weekly just to see where they are. Because then they know like, okay, how many clients did I take this week? I fell short. Why is that? You know, they can look at everything on a real, a macro level. So let me get into this example. $100,000 of a revenue goal. Your expenses for cost of sales, right? So this is services or product. It's $30,000 for the year. Rent, $15,000 for the year. Advertising, $3,000. Professional development, training, or education, $3,000. Legal and professional fees, $3,000. Miscellaneous supplies will be $1,000. Technology is $1,000. Consulting is $1,000. Dues and subscription, $1,000. Telephone and Wi-Fi, $500. So all of these costs total up to $58,500. Sorry for that extra zero there, but $58,500. That means that your net profit before tax will end up being $41,500. Now notice I said before tax, people. You still have to budget for tax. Tax comes, we call it like below the line. What I mean by that is you have to budget your tax based on net profit versus revenue. All of these expenses are budgeted based off of revenue. So the expense allocations that I'm giving to you as guidance, they are based on revenue. Tax is based on net profit, right? So once you get your net profit before tax, which is revenue minus all of your expenses, and in this case it's $41,500, I want you to budget 25% for tax, 20% for the feds, 5% for your state. I want you to budget for that because you do not have the luxury of waiting to the end of the year to pay your tax. You should be doing it quarterly, especially making revenue of $100,000. Now, if you have previously waited to the end of the year and you was not severely penalized, it's probably because you didn't bring in a lot of money. And that's not like no shade at all, but that's likely the reason. The penalty will increase by the amount of money you made during the year. Okay? So at $100,000 and $41,500 of net profit, you should definitely be paying your taxes quarterly. And that's why we budget for it, because you're going to have to write a check or pull out that card every 3 months at making money at this level. That is the consequence of being a boss. This is something I want you all to get used to. If you don't like your tax number, start tax planning throughout the year, not at tax time. It's nothing you can do at tax time. But start paying your quarterly taxes. So again, once you take out the 25% for tax, see how much that tax is? $10,000, $10,375. You don't want to pay that at the end of the year. You want to be saving for that. You want to pay that every 3 months. So when you get to the end of the year, you know you're good to go because you've been paying in. Okay. So your net profit after tax is $31,125. Now, that's an example. Like I said before, this is all a money game. This is all a numbers game. All a numbers game. So if you don't like that number, that 31,125, you can do 3 things. Increase your revenue, decrease your expenses, or a combination of the two. Those are your 3 choices if you don't like that number. You are not stuck with any of this. This is a numbers game. You say, you know what, I want more than $31,125. I'm going to earn more revenue. I'm going to up my revenue goal. Or maybe that tax number can go down. Maybe I need to call the beauty CPA and do some tax planning. Maybe she could save me more than $10,000. Maybe I don't need $3,000 of professional development. Maybe I don't need consulting. Maybe I don't need technology. All a numbers game. So please be creative with this. Make sure when you're budgeting, when you're done, like the number. Like the number. Because if you don't like the number, you're not gonna work towards it with all of your might. You're not gonna be motivated to want to reach the goal if you don't even like the number. So make sure you like the revenue number, the total expenses number, the tax number, and the bottom line, net profit after tax. Make sure you like all of that. And don't stop kind of playing with this budget until you get somewhere where you're good to go. It's a stretch goal. It's doable because you've mapped out the ways in which you will make this money. You have planned the ways in which you will spend this money. You will tax plan to minimize that tax bill, and you'll be okay with the bottom line. It's all a numbers game. If you do not have bookkeeping, okay? If you don't have bookkeeping, I highly suggest you get to that like yesterday. Seriously though, I have a bookkeeping template for you. It's free. You can go to bit.ly/bookkeeping Excel to get it for free. It's a template, it's a bookkeeping template. It's in Excel, it's a spreadsheet. It has a tab for each month. And as long as you are keeping up with all of your financial transactions, this spreadsheet will build a set of financials for you at the end of the year. And it also have tools for you to reconcile your inventory and all of your transactions to your bank statement. It also includes a video walkthrough. I have a video link in there. You can click that link. It'll take you to the video and I will walk you through how to use it. So yes, you can get the bookkeeping template. It's bit.ly. So bit.ly. Or you know what? I'm going to put it in this comment thing here. Facebook, I will put it in the caption for you. But Instagram, I'm going to type it. Let me see if I can do this appropriately. If you guys have any questions, I am here. I'll be here for a couple more minutes and I can answer them for you. Or if you're shy, you can go ahead and send me a message or we could schedule something. We could talk a bit. I'm keeping tax planning, all that. Okay, did I post it? And then how do you pin it? Ooh, I pinned it. Okay, it's pinned. Okay, I think it's there. Okay. So yes, if you have any questions, let me know. Or like I said, you can send me a message and we could talk through DM or inbox, or we could set something up. And but yeah, we are ending. This is the last week of October. This is the last week of October. Now is the perfect time for two things: budgeting for next year, for 2021, and then two, tax planning. Budgeting because we want to set our financial goals and know where we're going. We want to know that before 2021 starts. We want to hit the ground January 1st, running and ready. Okay. We all know once Thanksgiving gets here, we ain't doing nothing. It's kind of like we just cruise through the end of the year, the holiday season, right? Understandably, we've been through a lot this year and we work really hard. So when the holidays come, we just kind of like, we chill. Number two, y'all gonna be busy. It's the holiday season. Everybody's gonna want to look and feel nice, right? So you're gonna be busy, hella busy after Thanksgiving through the end of the year. You got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, and then you have Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, every other holiday, New Year's Eve, all that. So you'll be busy. You said it's not coming up. Let me I'm gonna type it in my browser. bit.ly/bookkeeping Excel. Did I spell it right? I did. It's coming up for me. bit.ly/bookkeeping Excel. I have it right here. This is what I'll do. Let me see. I got you guys' names here over at Beauty Bar. I'm gonna send you a DM with the link. And then a little lash. Oh, I like that. A little lash shop. NH. B and E are cap sensitive. Oh, really? The B and E are cap sensitive? Is it? Let me shut the front door. I don't think I ever even realized that. bit.ly/. So if I just put all except, wait, let me try to type this. I think it's like my computer is remembering it. Oh, it has to, the B and the E has to be capped. If you put it lower, it won't do it. Shut the front door. I didn't know that. My apologies. I'm going to remember that. Next time yes, have to be capped. Thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, it's a great time to be setting our financial goals. So budgeting for next year and tax planning, because November and December is the last 2 months you can do anything. You do anything to save on taxes. Once 12/31, 11:59 p.m. Well, the time doesn't matter. But once 12/31 gets here, that's it. That's the last day you can do anything major to save on taxes. It's a wrap after that. So if you're going to do anything, now is the time. So keep that in mind, guys. Budgeting and tax planning. This is a great time to do both of those things. What was I going to say? It was going to be one more thing about no, I saw a question. That's what it was. Let's talk about questions. Okay. What write-offs can I get as an SD? I saw someone, she writes off eyelashes because she's my. Okay, so let's talk about that. So number one, over a beauty bar. Okay, I have a freebie out there on the Ultimate Tax Deductions Guide for Beautypreneurs. I have that, and it's very, very comprehensive because I get this question all the time. What can I write off? And so I put that guide together. It's very, very thorough. The link is in my bio, but I can DM that to you, that link for you to have, so you can check that out. You download it, it's free, and it'll answer all your questions you have about write-offs. But to that specific question, okay, you guys are in the beauty industry, so it is not unordinary for you to spend money on beauty products to run your business. Like, for example, you may, as a beauty professional, I'm sure you guys have like photo shoots, right? Where you have to pay a makeup artist, or you may be a makeup artist and you buy, your makeup, your material supplies, whatever. Or even if you're an esthetician and maybe you are testing out product and you just want to put it on a model or a volunteer person or yourself. So it's not uncommon that you will incur those expenses to run your business. Here's the thing. When you are buying eyelashes, right? Your friend is buying eyelashes. Let's say she does lashes. She goes into work or she's out and about and people are seeing her lashes, giving her compliments. And that's her opportunity. That's the reason she's saying she can write it off, is because she's wearing it out in public and people are seeing her and they're complimenting her. And she said, you know what? I do these. These are natural minks. These are about, 2 packs per eye, whatever. They last 8 to 10 weeks. I use medical grade adhesive. You could even swim in these, right? And it works. She gets lots of clients that way. But this is how the IRS would see it. And this is how I know, right? My first 8 years of my career, I spent as an IRS revenue agent where I examined, I audited tax returns. And so when it comes to stuff like that, here's how the IRS looks at it. They say, okay, but when you're not at work and when you're not out and about, fluttering your eyes to potential customers, where are you? You're at home with the bed and you're looking cute for him or her. Or you're on vacation and you're looking flawless on vacation. Or you're hanging out with your friends and you're taking pictures on the gram, for the gram, Can you get personal benefits from the purchase of those lashes? The answer is obviously yes. She's not taking them off. They last 8 to 10 weeks. So the IRS will allow her a partial deduction. They're not going to allow the whole thing because they're going to say you do benefit personally from the purchase of those lashes. You do benefit personally from the purchase of those lashes. There was a court case And I'm sorry to get technical and I'm sorry to get all lawyerly, but there was a court case. The stripper. And she went and got plastic surgery to, get the boobs and the butt, whatever. But it was so exaggerated, right? These boobs were huge. These boobs were huge. This ass was huge, okay? So she wrote all the cost off and she got audited. Now, what did the auditor say? The auditor said, well, hey, we cannot allow you the whole deduction because you personally benefit from big boobs and a big butt. After you get off the pole or leave the strip club, you're walking around in public just looking like you have a very curvy, voluptuous figure, right? But she said she won the case. Why did she win the case? Because she said, I only did this to be successful in my business. The boobs were huge. They was like a size like M or N. It was ridiculous. And she made the case that no typical woman would ever go this big for no other reason than to excel in their personal career. No typical woman would just go get size M or N boobs. She's correct. No typical woman would do that. But in the case of your friend, her lashes are not that extreme that the only reason she did it was for business. Pretty sure they're pretty like typical average lashes. So the revenue agent will say, no, you're getting some personal benefit. I'll allow you half of the cost, maybe even 75% of the cost, not 100. Sorry for the super long answer, but that's where we are with that. What I would say, if you're going to go down that route of buying things for your business, I would document the hell out of it. Documentation is everything, right? So I would say, if you're going to go buy lashes and you're using that as a marketing tool, I would document that. I would document it. And it doesn't have to be something like super long and convoluted, right? I would just make a note when you buy the lashes, where obviously you'll have a receipt of where you bought them from, how much they cost and when and all that. Document the business reason. I am buying these because I wear these, and 75-80% of my customers see me in these in public, and this, I get a lot of business from wearing and marketing my own product. Or give them to someone else. If you got a homegirl that's out and about all the time, do her lashes. Have her do the marketing. Give her a stack of cards, and do it that way. It makes it less risky from an audit perspective. But I'm just going to tell you what the auditor is going to come from. That's what they're going to say. Okay? Make sure you just document what you're doing. Right? Document what you're doing. That way they know you didn't just go on Amazon or wherever you buy your lashes and bought something and just decided to write it off, So again, if there are no other questions, guys, I'm going to let you go. I know it's getting late. Feel free to message me. Again, if you didn't, the link to the bookkeeping Excel template, it is just a spreadsheet, but it's phenomenal. It includes a video walkthrough by me. Go ahead and go to that link in the comment that I pinned. Thanks to some ladies on this live. The B and the E is cap sensitive. It must be capitalized. The B in bookkeeping and the E in Excel must be capitalized. So thank you, guys. I am going to be, continuing to post some useful information about budgeting this week. But, I'm always going live every Tuesday. I call it Tax Tip Tuesday. It's turned more into like Budgeting Tip Tuesday, but whatever. You'll be seeing me again live next Tuesday. Until then, guys, keep making the world beautiful. Have a good night.